From Tokyo to Washington, how China hunts Muslim Uyghurs across borders. Cyber attacks, threats, and hostages, how China controls Uyghurs overseas. For those in a hurry, here's a short summary of the topic. For thousands of Uyghur Muslims who fled Xinjiang's persecution, life overseas has become a new kind of captivity. China continues to hunt them across borders through digital surveillance, cyber attacks, intimidation, and the cruel hostage-taking of family members back home. Even in democracies like the US, Japan, and Australia, Uyghurs face monitoring, anonymous threats, and pressure from Chinese officials. Many live in fear, unable to contact relatives who vanished into detention camps. Exile offers no peace, only a different battlefield where China extends its authoritarian reach and punishes Uyghurs for daring to escape. Now the complete version of the topic. For Uyghur Muslims abroad, China turns freedom into a new prison. One of freedom that never arrives? For thousands of Uyghur Muslims who escaped China's persecution in Xinjiang, life abroad was supposed to mean liberation. But instead of safety, many discovered something far darker, a new kind of captivity created by China itself. From Washington to Tokyo, from Istanbul to Canberra, China's shadow follows them. The repression they fled does not stay behind. It stretches across borders through threats, intimidation, cyber attacks, surveillance, and the cruel hostage-taking of family members still trapped in Xinjiang. For many Uyghurs, exile is not freedom. It is a continuation of fear engineered by Beijing. To China's transnational repression, a silent global war. China's government has perfected a system of transnational repression that targets Uyghurs even after they leave the country. This repression is not loud. It is not visible in streets or squares. It is carried out quietly through police calls, online monitoring, embassy pressure, and threats delivered through social media. It is a cold, methodical strategy. Control them everywhere. Silence them anywhere. Break them even abroad. Uyghurs who speak out face direct consequences. Their relatives back home disappear. Their siblings are interrogated. Their parents are taken to re-education camps, which are in reality concentration camps. Their children are placed in Chinese-run orphanages. Beijing's message is simple: silence or suffering. Dissidence or disappearance. 3 digital chains, China's cyber harassment campaign. China's persecution does not end with physical borders. It continues online. Uyghur activists, students, journalists, and asylum seekers report hacking attempts on their phones. Invasive malware sent through anonymous messages. Mandatory demands for personal documents. Strange calls pretending to be from law enforcement. Threats sent through WeChat or WhatsApp. Fake Chinese officials demanding interviews. These cyber attacks are not random. They are orchestrated to track location, steal data, monitor conversations, and induce psychological fatigue. Many Uyghurs abroad refuse to open unknown messages. Some stop using phones altogether. Others avoid speaking about China publicly out of fear that their digital footprints will be used to punish their families. China has built a technological cage, one that extends across oceans. For fear followed them, surveillance in Western democracies. Even in countries thousands of kilometers away from China, Uyghurs report being watched. China uses community informants planted inside Uyghur groups. Threats delivered through consulates. Pressure on universities to monitor Uyghur students. Tracking apps disguised as Islamic prayer tools. Intelligence operatives posing as tourists or researchers. In some countries, strange men appear near Uyghur homes, taking photos. Cars follow them to work. People notice microphones at community centers, devices with no explanation. The international community refers to this as foreign interference. But for Uyghurs, it feels like their persecutor never left. 5. The hostage crisis in Xinjiang. Perhaps the most brutal tactic China uses is family hostage-taking. Uyghurs abroad receive messages like, "Stop your activism, or your mother will be in a camp. Your brother is arrested because of your behavior. Speak publicly again and your family will disappear." These statements come from Chinese police officers calling from Xinjiang, from relatives forced to read scripts, or from unknown numbers using Chinese dialects. The cruelty is intentional. Target the exile by hurting the ones who stayed. Punish the crime of fleeing by imprisoning those who cannot. Some Uyghurs have not heard their parents' voices in years. Others learn through leaked camp documents that their relatives were sentenced to long prison terms. A few see state media videos of their parents confessing loyalty to the Communist Party. It is psychological warfare custom designed to break the exiled Uyghur spirit. 6. Life in limbo, stateless, scared, and isolated. Because China pressures foreign governments, many Uyghurs abroad live in a state of permanent uncertainty. Some countries delay asylum applications. Some refuse to document them. Some quietly cooperate with China's extradition requests. As a result, Uyghurs live without passports, legal status, work rights, travel permissions, access to their families. They wait in endless queues at immigration offices. They rely on community support because employment is difficult. They fear deportation more than starvation. China's influence turns their exile into a new prison, a prison without walls but full of fear. 7. Global implications. China's reach is expanding. China's ability to intimidate Uyghurs in democratic countries exposes a global crisis. If Beijing can silence exiles in Washington, Tokyo, Berlin, Istanbul, and Melbourne, then it has already penetrated the internal security of those nations. China's strategy is clear. Extend the reach of authoritarian control. Undermine democratic systems. Silence victims before they can testify. Rewrite narratives overseas. Normalize foreign intimidation. Demonstrate that no one is untouchable. This is not just a Uyghur crisis. It is a test of how far a dictatorship can project power into free societies. So far, China is winning that test. 9. The world must face this reality. The world often talks about China's camps, surveillance towers, and forced labor in Xinjiang. But far less attention goes to the Uyghurs living in exile, still crushed by the same system just in a different way. China's repression did not stop at its borders. It metastasized. For many Uyghurs, it simply means living under a shadow of fear that never stops moving. Sources: Human Rights Watch, China, Transnational Repression of Uyghurs. Documents global intimidation, cyber attacks, and threats targeting Uyghur refugees. Amnesty International, reports on mass detention, surveillance, and coercion of Uyghur families in Xinjiang, covers hostage-taking of relatives and persecution abroad. UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, OCHR, 2022 Xinjiang Human Rights Assessment, confirms arbitrary detentions, family separations, and state intimidation. Uyghur Human Rights Project, UHRP, research on China's overseas repression networks, analyzes digital surveillance, embassy involvement, and coercion tactics. Freedom House, out of sight, not out of reach, the global scale of China's transnational repression. Details China's targeting of dissidents and Uyghur communities worldwide. U.S. Congressional Executive Commission on China, CECC, annual reports, provides verified cases of harassment, threats, and pressure on Uyghurs abroad. Reuters/Associated Press investigative reports, coverage of Uyghur diaspora intimidation, cyber harassment, and family hostage-taking. A quick request: if you found this podcast interesting so far, I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a like. You'd also be doing us a huge favor if you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.